summer reading program. So basically what we decided to do was build an introduction letter to propose the program to different administrators and faculty that might be helping us make choices. You can read that in our document. It basically just gives a brief overview of the who, what, where, when, and how of our program.
The schedule is outlined within 5 to 6 weeks from 8 to 11:30, and the overall time frame is between mid-June to the first week of August with the 4th of July week off. Monday, Wednesday, Friday consists of a reader's workshop, which starts with the whole group instruction, and then small group work and independent work, and then going back to whole class instruction to reflecting on their learning. Tuesday, Thursday is going to be book clubs with 5 small reading groups on instructional based levels, and then they're going to connect their learning in the practice from the reader's workshop into their book clubs, and then they'll be given a small allotment of time to work on their reading. Tuesdays are the tea party, which is when each student is going to be given a note card, and it's going to be a socialization time for them to work together to create a we think statement. And then the teacher will read aloud the book that connects to the note cards, and then during that time the students will have apple juice and teacups while they listen to the read aloud, and then they'll conclude it with a reflection. Thursdays are going to be readers theater, and they'll be given prep time to read and rehearse their scripts, and then they'll perform the scripts for the class.
Is that each day educators licensed by the State of Iowa Department of Education will instruct students in grade level research-based reading strategies in phonics, fluency, and comprehension. So skills will be taught through gradual complexity formula and tailored to enhance students' understanding and confidence. All content has been created based on the Common Core English Language Arts Standards published by the Department of Education. So this allows for educators to ensure that all students are mastering key grade level English language arts concepts. So this, below here is the table of all of our standards. The first section is words and phonics, phonics and word recognition standards. And then we keep going down. And second category of our standards is fluency standards. The next section is vocabulary standards. And the last section is comprehension standards. So the learning theories that connect to our program is first the top-down processing, or called the cognitive view, by Richard Gregory. In this view, reading is not just extracting meaning from a text, but a process of connecting information in the text with the knowledge the reader brings to the act of reading. So the reader is using their background knowledge as they come to learn how to read. So in this sense, reading is a dialogue between the reader and their background knowledge, and how they learn, how they take meaning out of the text because of their background knowledge. So the second theory that we found was Jean Piaget's schema theory, and this theory focuses particularly on the background knowledge and which background knowledge the student can use in a particular reading environment, and how their specific background knowledge can relate or not relate to what they're reading, and how they make meaning and comprehend a text. So the last theory is the metacognitive view by John H. Flavel, and readers think about the text and what they are doing before, during, and after reading, so they are in control of what they comprehend from the text and what meaning they take away from the text, using context clues and background knowledge.
Learning and then organizational learning. Active learning is going to consist of think, pair, share, readers theater, grand conversation, guided reading, KWL charts, reading logs, and then the tea party, which we discussed in the calendar. And this is going to be a big part of our instructional strategy, and it's going to focus on students participating in a tea party where they read excerpts or phrases from a text and share them with the classmates. This is a socializing activity for students to discuss topics about a book being introduced or a book that they have already read. The organizational strategies are going to focus more towards classroom management strategies, and these are going to be anchor activities or learning contracts.
Strategies will include formative assessments throughout, which will have quizzes like Kahoot, Dipsticks, Exit tickets, interview assessments, and even self-assessments. And then at the very end, we will do a summative assessment where they will complete versions of current state-mandated reading assessments at the end of the year assessment level. This data will be used to show student growth and overall performance within the program.
For the program are going to be licensed teachers by in the state of Iowa. This will ensure that they are knowledgeable and prepared to instruct students. They will also be familiar with district procedures, and their main goal is to provide a safe and caring environment for learning for the students.
Students, we are going to have a class size of 15 students or less. The max will be 20. So this is to ensure that students have beneficial small group interaction and one-on-one instruction opportunities with the teacher. So attendance policy is attendance is mandatory in order for the student to be successful in the program. Students may not miss more than 2 days of the program unless they have extenuating circumstances.
504 or an IEP, individualized education plan, should work with their educational team to decide on whether they would benefit from this program. If it is decided that this would help work the students towards those goals outlined in those plans, their team should work closely with program instructors to make sure that their needs are being adequately met.
Our parental involvement, which could also involve not only parents but in relatives, mentors, or any sort of adult figure within the student's life that could help them work on their reading involvement. We will hold family reading nights where families will come in with their students and learn best skills to read aloud or along with their child. We will also make sure to send home reading logs that will involve the student and parent reading together at night, and the parent signs it agreeing that they read each night. These actions will ensure the student is able to learn better and the parents understand what their child is doing. Through communication, we will send out electronic newsletters through email and Facebook each week explaining the skills and activities being taught that week. We will also have at least 2 parent-teacher conferences throughout the program to check in with families and address any questions or concerns. Along with these conferences, parents will have time to learn how to best support their students' growth as a reader at home through explicit instruction of support strategies.
Of funding and how that is acquired. So we've basically divvied out the responsibility to 3 different categories of people, and so that's the planning committee, the host district and school, and then the individual instructors. So a lot of the financial acquisition falls under the first category of that team to apply for grants both at the federal, state, and within private sectors to receive the necessary funding for this program. It's really hard to lay out a specific cost analysis at this point just because we don't have specific lessons, materials, or number of students, but all of that will vary the cost of the program.